Hello?
Hello, is that
It is.
hello there, I'm calling from Sussex Police.
Hello there.
I believe you've been expecting a call. My name's Rose Horan, I work in Brighton CID,
Oh, hi.
and I've been allocated your harassment case to look at.
Yes, the
Does
malicious
that make sense to you?
communications. Yeah, I think it's malicious communications, isn't it?
Well, malicious communications, harassment, stroke, whatever it ends up being. Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, apologies for the delay. I've had like a court case, and then we've had people in custody every single day, and then I had a period of annual leave. And today's the first opportunity I've had to actually look through your body of evidence and like digest your statement and read it all. So I've just spent a couple of hours going through it all. First question, has the activity continued from Taz?
No, it seems to have settled down.
Right. I will tell you that this tends to happen with him. I'm guessing that the best solution for you would be for it all to be deleted and all stopped, rather than dragging it out.
Dragging out in what way, sorry?
Dragging out animosity from him and him continuing with this. I say that because the level of offence that it is not going to put him. It's not going to put him in prison. It's not going to deprive him of his liberty.
How would you say that, sorry?
Well, because of the level that it is, it's not. From experience of dealing with matters like this, he's not going to be put in prison for something like this.
Well, he's already committed this offence before to Sussex Police. He's already committed an offence called a paedophile. And malicious communications very much is an either way offence and does carry.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it carries that, but it's in effect. You know what happens at court.
Well, obviously that's for the court to decide. Obviously,
it is, but at the moment, I mean, I'll give you an example. I've just dealt with a GBH that happened in August 2020. I got it to court within a couple of months, and it's only just gone in front of a jury. The state of the criminal justice system at the moment, to be frank, is appalling, really, in terms of the wait times and the decisions that the courts make. Whilst
I mean, there was another instance where another man did pretty much what Taz, well, in fact, a hell of a lot less than what Taz did, and he got 4 months in prison for doing the same to me.
Right,
so,
right. Well, anyway, we're probably jumping ahead of ourselves a bit anyway with that. I guess I'm guessing that the best thing is that it stops completely and that he deletes whatever is still out there on you, and that's. I think for you that should be at least stop the way that you're feeling about it. You're obviously very distressed about it, naturally and understandably.
I'm
keen to get it.
I'm angry because I've reported to the police nearly 3 months ago, and they could have stopped it on day one, and they didn't. So you can understand my animosity stretches a little bit beyond Taz. Because the police know who he is, they know where he was, they knew he was doing it, and they didn't do anything about it. And that's my issue, you see. Now that he's stopped, it's only because of my persistent pressure in the police. Obviously not yourself, so you know.
No, I understand. I mean, I completely understand. You know, the effect that this kind of thing has on people. In the scheme of things, he needs to be stopped, but there's more than one way to stop him. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to give him a call in a minute. He has been arrested on the. When was he arrested? He was arrested on the 16th of April.
With the 16th, was he?
Yeah, that's when he was brought into custody. The custody sergeant was not happy with treating it as a criminal offence and considered it to be more of a civil offence.
You're joking.
No, I'm not.
No. The custody sergeant, so did you see all the sexual pictures he put on the internet of pictures of penises with maggots and shit and things like that, and then put my name?
I haven't seen those yet. I've only had.
I think the custody sergeant needs to see them and think again.
Well, he probably hadn't seen those. He probably hadn't seen those. Well, are they part of your body of evidence?
They're the police have got. I'm fuming now thinking that.
Yeah.
Who the hell do you think he is?
Let me just make sure that I have everything, because it's important that I do.
Custody sergeant's name. You will have that there, obviously. So
I will have it. I'll get it. Yeah. I'll get it all to you. What I need is to make sure that whatever evidence you've supplied us with, that I have it all.
I sent a statement. I spent the whole day.
I've got the statement. I've just been through all of that. I've got the statement.
The thing was, because of, and this is where the frustration kicks in, because of the lack of the police, I couldn't keep up with the statement from what Taz was doing. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of
Yeah.
And they were grossly offensive, malicious. They were despicable.
Are they still up there on his Twitter?
They're all on Twitter, yeah.
They're still on his Twitter.
Yeah, they're all on there. They're all floating about. I get alerted to them. I can't see them, but I get alerted to them. I'm not even going to try and get to see them.
No.
He's put threats. He's put pornographic stuff on web. I need to know this custody sergeant's name. That's despicable. Our custody sergeant wouldn't think that that's a criminal offence. That is
right. Let me just make sure I've got all your evidence, because that's going to be something that I need.
The custody sergeants would have had all of this evidence.
Well, no, all the custody sergeants have is what's reported to them at the desk.
Yeah, but this was
they don't. They deal with people. They don't have time to look. They don't. They don't look at the evidence in detail.
Before you say the wrong thing, there, the custody sergeant has an obligation to make sure somebody is dealt with correctly. You can't say that he's busy doing this, he's busy doing that. If somebody's brought before him, that person's liberty is under his control.
Yeah, I know, and that's why that's why they have to be quite careful about who they whose liberty they deprive. And if what's presented to them at the desk it appears to be civil, then they won't want to take that risk of taking away their liberty. So that needs looking into.
I understand, but we need to just go over this, a bit more clarification here. What part of this is he or yourself saying this amounts to a civil offence? Just tell me that, which bit, because what civil offence are we talking about here?
Well, the posts where he's posted online about you, it could be termed as harassment. I haven't come across all of your evidence, I don't think, because what I've got here is I've got a 37-page document. Is that all of your evidence on that 37-page document, or is there more?
I've sent probably 50 or more emails, and I've all been told it's going on file. It doesn't seem like anyone's taking this seriously.
Okay, let me. If I email you the document I've got, then you know what I've got, and if there's more, then clearly.
Well, can I just put it
I need to have.
I've sent to 101 at Sussex, and also is it Carrie, somebody, a detective inspector, or somebody Carrie somebody.
Right.
I've sent every piece of information to the police, and I've gone bent over backwards to identify. I've analysed the IP addresses, I've analysed the name servers and the domain names, and I've analysed everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, I study law as well, and so I know from a criminal perspective that this matches the or betters the realistic prospect.
Malcolm's harassment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, without question. This is why for a custody sergeant to say he's not happy, it's criminal.
Well, then he's only going on what was. Yeah, but he's only going on what was presented to him, isn't he? And in custody, we've got people coming in every 5 minutes for all sorts of things. He can only go on what's presented to him.
Well, the point is that what was presented to him, because
I don't know, because I've literally had 2 hours. I've been in since like 4 o'clock when I went on duty today. We had briefing for half an hour, and I've been looking at this since then. I've got 67 jobs on my tracker, and I'm putting the time into this so that we can get it sorted. Because I can see from the emails that I've had forwarded. I've had a few of your recent emails forwarded, and I can see that you've not had sort of a satisfactory response on it yet, and that's because no one has probably taken the time out to look through it in depth.
When this happened to Sussex Police, going back whenever it was, 2016, it was done and dusted in a matter of days and weeks, as far as I've been told. I do remember that, and it's always quite convoluted when it comes to him, because as you can probably imagine. Well, because I know his history, and I've done a lot of research on him. That makes it more of a custodial sentence, because the custodial or the public interest test goes higher, and he's got previous convictions for the same.
His previous convictions will be bad character, but it's from experience, it's very difficult to get anything else through other than previous convictions.
Well, I mean, if Sussex Police aren't going to go there,
previous occurrences wouldn't count as bad character in the state of the criminal justice system we've got at the moment, which is just the way it is, what we have to live with.
Previous convictions of similar offences would.
No, but in my experience at court, previous occurrences that haven't been convicted, the judge will generally...
Oh, yeah, that haven't been convicted, but he has a conviction for...
Oh, no, convictions, absolutely, but the non-convictions wouldn't count.
No,
It's a shame they don't in some ways, because when they're very like for like, it would almost seem like they should be. Sometimes in a few sex offences they are, but generally...
Well, he has been convicted for this same offence, against Sussex Police. He's known for it, we were doing the research on it. It's a copycat. Well, it's not a copycat. It's the same person. It's almost like a copycat offence. It's identical. And unless he does receive a harsh penalty, he's going to do it to somebody else. And that's the important thing. I mean.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm quite vocal online. I'll stand up for myself. I haven't got a problem with a dispute or an argument. But what I would never do is lower myself to do what he's done and start spreading malicious comments, because you can't stop that. You can't beat that. There's nothing I can do to defend myself in that respect without me breaking the law.
I know.
And that's the problem. It puts me in a position where the only way to defend myself is to consider taking the law into my own action, and my own hands. And that's an unfortunate and an unfair position to put me in. Because the stuff he said about me and my wife, I mean, this is at the time when she was going through recovery and her father died. And there's pictures on the internet of, human feces on male penises and things. And
is that what he's done? I haven't got.
Well, he's also said that he's created a pornographic video with deep faces. And when researching that, it's this new thing where you can superimpose a real face on top of another person, and it looks so realistic. And
have you seen any examples of what he's done?
No, because I wouldn't know where he'd post it. But he said done.
He is a bit of a bluffer. A lot of the stuff he says is just complete and utter bluff. I mean, he's no genius, let me tell you.
Well, I know from the investigations on his VPN. I mean, using Volta as a server provider and then putting all your VPNs through Volta around the world, it's pretty obvious, because all you need to do is link one of them.
He's no G. I mean, when he took Sussex Police down, I mean, to be honest, that's not that difficult, because our IT is so shit. But he basically just did one of those things where you send about 1 million emails at once. It's not like rocket science, is it? So he's no genius. Don't worry about that. But clearly, from your point of view, I can see, that it's caused you a lot of...
It's caused huge embarrassment for me and my family.
Yeah, embarrassment really, isn't it?
But my family have seen these disgusting pictures that, they don't even know what the stuff is. I mean, if you look at the pictures...
So where have they seen the disgusting pictures on...
People have been sending posts around. They've been flying around everyone saying, who's doing this to your family? So they only need... So it's kind of that kind of thing. Everybody's looking out for these pictures, and my mum's like, she's just had a heart incident a couple of... So she suddenly gets a glimpse of these pictures, they're like, what pictures? And then she'd contact me, going, what are these things going around? I'm saying, don't worry about it. Well, I am worried about it,
Right, so the pictures that you're talking about, is it possible to... Do you have any screenshots or evidence of these pictures that people have seen?
I sent them to the police,
right,
and I was told that by sending them to the police, I might be committing an offence by sending it. And I was just like, are you having a laugh?
Right.
This is how silly it was. I was so out of my mind. I was sending the pictures, and then somebody sent me one saying, if you continue sending these, you could be committing an offence. And I said, come and arrest me then. If you think this is an offence, report in an offence.
Yeah.
You know, it's really caused a right. You know,
yeah.
My sister lives alone. She's petrified. I don't know why she's petrified.
Is it possible? I tell you what. Is it possible for you to put them onto a memory stick and send them in the post to me? Because our probably our email and we've got a media system that you can forward stuff over, but it might block stuff that might be a little bit, iffy.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't like to put them on a stick and send them through the post because that's quite unsafe. What I'd rather do is send them electronically using an encrypted or secured password on a zip file.
Right.
So that it's not.
Yeah. What about Google?
Drive.
Google Drive. Would
that Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox, anything?
Because I've recently been dealing with a vigilante grooming job, and they sent me all their. Obviously, you can imagine there's some not particularly nice images in that. They sent me everything via the Google Drive, and I downloaded it fine.
Well, I can send it. I can send it to you very, very securely because prior.
I mean, our things block it, but I can get RIT to let me go onto the Google thing, and then I can download.
What I normally use is like our core. Is the same as Google Drive.
Just something that I can get a link to, and then I can see the full body of evidence rather than literally. I've just got this one PDF that's 37 pages, which sounds like it's part of the story, and of course I've got your statement. But
at the start, because I've had incidents in the past, and at the start I thought, you know what, from the very word go, I'm going to evidence everything from the word. Rather than wait for somebody to call me, and thankfully, obviously, I did do that because it's been 3 months. I thought that started, so I started. I came into work on a Sunday, and I sat here for like 6 or 7 hours, I think it was, and went through everything, and I exhibited it, and did it the best I could, and then I sent it, and thinking, right, that'll be it, and then it carried on thick and fast the following week. I was just like, So I was contacting the police saying, have you got my statements? Oh, we're thinking about it. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we might. And it was like, oh, somebody's off sick now. Somebody's got, and it's like, but it's happening as we speak. I can't, and I couldn't control it. So I was then just sending.
I mean, it is a very unfortunate, but the Malcolms and sort of online harassment type incidents do end up going to the bottom of the to-do pile, and that's no consolation to you, and it's not great. It really isn't, because and the officers that it's given to tend to be the ones that are busy with kind of loads and loads of other volume crime.
Look, I honestly I get it. I do get it that there's so much going on, and and I probably understand that Lancashire police have probably had their noses in this because they don't particularly like me.
Right.
So I would imagine they've been doing the best to
right.
as well.
Okay.
Just to give you a bit of flavour on it.
I mean, I've had this since the 23rd of April. Is when it was given to me, which is on a day when I was on rest days, and then I had 3 days at court, and then I had a period of 2 days where I was in, hoping to deal with it, and got prisoners both days. And then I had a period of 6 days annual leave. And then I came back yesterday intending to deal with it, and I got 3 prisoners yesterday. And now today I'm finally had 2 hours since 4 o'clock to look through it. So it's not good enough in terms of victim satisfaction, but we're kind of we're kind of stuck with it, really.
Yeah, I mean, I accept that you're being given this late, and it's not you. I do accept that, and I accept whoever who ends up with a case like this gets the shitty end of the stick essentially, because they end up with a disgruntled sort of victim. So please don't see this frustration as being your fault, unless there's anything that says it's your fault. I seriously think it's just the system is so whatever, and I've been let down. I mean, I've been told I've been let
down. Well,
I just want to move forward. I want to get this sorted. I don't want to have a gripe with Sussex Police. I've got a gripe with enough police forces due to my activities and campaigns. I mean, just so you know, I think the police force is fantastic. I just hate corruption and misconduct in the police. I'm not suggesting that with you or anyone else.
Well, absolutely. I mean, so do I.
Well, if anybody suggests that I hate police or don't like police, they're so mistaken. I am so...
Well, you know, if there's any line of business where you shouldn't have corruption, it's police, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and the thing is, I get...
You sort of accept it when you're getting some solar panels installed, don't you? You think, well, you know, there's always dodgy people doing that, but there shouldn't be dodgy police, should there? Because
there shouldn't be, and the sad fact is, but unfortunately, I seem to get them all the time when it's to do with Lancashire Police. I mean, the history is, and it's just so you can understand what's going on, is I outed a police informant who threatened to kill my wife and kids. So I outed him, I posted about him on the internet, and since that day, I've had a target on my back from everyone, including paedophile allegations, websites set up about me, Lancashire Police threatening me and things like that, and I've sued them, left, right, and it's just been a battle. So I want to just...
So, you know, if Taz Ryder, for example, one of his many aliases, call him Taz for simplicity, if he were to Google you, would he have found anything pertaining to you that he could then have kind of used?
He would have found a lot of things. Now, just to give you an idea, there's a website that was created called... It was blatantly photographs of me calling me a paedophile. It was reported to Lancashire, who refused to do anything. Went to
right.
The man
did you get to the bottom of who created that?
Well, the guy who created it lives in Bedfordshire, so I went straight to Bedfordshire. They reported it, said it's a crime, we know who's done it, and before too long, Lancashire Police stuck their noses in, and then Bedfordshire said, we're not going to report it, we're not going to investigate. Lancashire told us, so I went to a judicial review, went to the High Court, and it was at a cost of over £20,000. I won the High Court, so Bedfordshire now have to investigate it.
So what's that one called?
Online. It's not there now. It was online for 12 months, but there's two other websites that Lancashire Police are deliberating about called, and I think they're now looking at this, but they've said it will take up to 2 years to get them taken off.
And you've been kind of bad-mouthed on that, have you?
Yeah, they've taken all the paedophile allegations off of that one.
God.
And but left it like he hates this, he hates police, he does this. And you know what? 6 years ago, before all this police informant stuff, I had another friend who was a copper in CID, Special Branch, dealt with police informants, and this is how the police informants who worked for me got outed, because I set them up as a police informant in work through my mate. He's no longer a friend of mine, worst enemy I could ever imagine. He's turned on me, and because of all that, it's just escalated. It's tumbled and tumbled and tumbled. I sued the police for £35,000 for malicious prosecution. They tried to prosecute me for malcoms for calling a police informant a police informant. The judge laughed, said, "Well, it's true. It's not malicious. It's not grossly offensive, and it certainly is true." But the thing is, they don't like the fact they did that, and it was probably a silly thing for me to do, but the police informant was posting online hundreds of articles calling me a paedophile, and Lancashire Police didn't do anything. They refused to do it. They just turned their backs on me, and this is why my
what was it that upset him so much? You know, what started it all? Why did he get? I mean, he doesn't need much, but was there a trigger?
Well, there was. He started working for me. So are you talking Taz or?
Taz, yeah. I mean, I've seen what you put in your statement, so obviously you don't need to repeat what you've already put in your statement because I've read that. But that was all it was then, yeah.
I didn't know Taz at all, and he contacted me over 12 months ago, and he seemed to be somebody who fought for campaigns against police corruption.
Yeah.
Up my alley completely.
Yeah.
You know, I have a massive 2,500 people Facebook group, which is about police corruption and misconduct. And anybody who badmouths...
He is into that, yeah.
But, he is into that. But the thing is, I mean, if he might be into it because he's done wrong and he doesn't like the fact he's been caught. People like that I don't support. Yeah. And in our Facebook group, if anybody badmouths the police just generally, they get kicked out. We're not a group of anti-police with anti-police corruption. Anyway, he contacted me. offered me all sorts of assistance and asked me to host his website. And from the thing, you can see he put I wouldn't say illegal pictures. They weren't sexual anyway. There were other people's data he had on a website that he wanted me to put on a host. I was like,
right.
And then after 12 months, he contacted me and said, I gave you a mobile number to contact me 12 months ago. I was like, did you? He said, well, it's sending me spam, so it must be you. I was like, I don't even know you give me a number. Anyway, he said, the number I gave you, he said, I only gave it to you. Is it an isolated number? He said, so I can basically track if you message me. So I've never messaged you. How dare you send me an isolated number so you can track me? Who are you to track me?
Yeah, it's, that...
And it went, and I just flipped on him. I really did flip on him there. I was like, who the F do you think you are? This is all a private message.
Yeah.
And then, I genuinely thought, naively and probably a little bit paranoia, I thought he was in some way related to Lancashire Police, because he then posted a link to me saying that he worked for the NSI or NCI, National Crime Center. And there was a link about him on there. He's obviously fabricated it.
Yeah.
And then after somebody...
I can't imagine any kind of organisation would take one look at him and just...
Well, the thing is,
when you see him in the person, he's
Well, he's not like the pictures I've seen on him online. Somebody said he doesn't look anything like that now. That's, but basically, he led me to believe that he might be in some way linked to the police. And at that particular time, I have a website which is called UK Police. And at that particular time, and bizarrely, the website was being attacked by an IP address, and the IP address was coming from Lancashire Police. So this is reported. Why is Lancashire Police attacking my website?
Right.
But then I thought maybe it's something to do with him. Why I drew that conclusion, I don't know. So I blogged saying, "Is this the Lancashire Police mole used?"
Right.
As soon as this picture went online, that's when all the real
right. Okay.
So that was the trigger. But I didn't write anything malicious online about him. I said what he'd done, totally contemporaneous. Said what happened, nothing made. I will never make anything up about somebody. It's not good. It's not right, and you can't. It just takes you down a path of. And you can't. I'm no angel, but I would never say somebody is a paedophile. I would never say that they're anything unless they are, but not the paedophile. That's the worst thing to say.
Yeah, of course.
Well, especially somebody who's a bloke who's got kids and he's got nothing.
Well, it's just horrible, isn't it?
But I'm gutted that the custody sergeant may think it's not criminal, but if he's not seen all the stuff,
he won't have done, because they really don't see. Sometimes when arrests go out, they just go out to the response team that's on, and they might have fairly minimal details. They won't have the whole. It won't be the person who's investigating necessarily that does the arrest. Sometimes it is. But sometimes it's just put onto another team to go get him in. And
was your CID arrested him or police?
No, it would have been a response at that point. It's only come to CID sort of after that point.
I was told by the officer in charge, I forget what his name is now. He was awful. But he said he was going to arrest him, couldn't arrest him, tried to knock on the door and got no answer. And then he said then because he couldn't facilitate an arrest, he passed it to CID. And then I was told that CID, or somebody, he was then arrested on the 18th, where you said the 16th.
It was definitely the 16th.
I was told the 18th.
For sure.
And the 18th and the 16th are separated by 16th would have been police and 18th would have been CID. So it seems like...
Yeah, he was arrested, 16th morning.
Who was the arresting officer, do you know?
It was PC Seekings. Yeah. So he would have just been on response. He's not had any involvement in the
No, I understand that. People just
investigation.
All right. So what's kind of the next?
So he was arrested for harassment, which it doesn't really matter what the arrest is. It could be malcoms or harassment. They can be interchangeable in terms of an arrest. It's what's charged that's the important thing.
Yeah, I understand that, but I take it with it being harassment, he wouldn't have had his computer seized. You wouldn't be able to on harassment, would you? You need to be malcomms.
Yeah, but he can be further arrested while in custody.
Well, was his computer seized? Do you know?
No, because he was. If he'd stayed in custody, there may have been a Section 18, but because he didn't stay in custody, there wasn't a Section 18.
So that was the reason why. That's the reason I was told that the whole delay for his arrest was because they were dealing
he's got so much equipment. He's got tons of equipment.
Well, I was told that they couldn't arrest him because they were dealing with cybercrime. I've got all these emails and communications. They were dealing with cybercrime. Cybercrime were compiling a plan of action to arrest him for the New York to talk. And he said, if we just go and arrest him without a plan of what we need to seize, we could lose the opportunity. Yeah. And yet all that was just...
Well, he probably was fully expecting an arrest anyway. I mean, he will have been fully expecting it. I mean, he's got his place like Fort Knox where he's got it, but yeah, we'll get it. I'll make sure we get him in, and we'll see what he's got to say, and we'll try and at the very minimum make sure that anything that is online is deleted.
I mean, but
we've got
to do your job, really, but I wouldn't be satisfied unless he's charged with malicious communications based on what he has done.
Yeah, and that's the current sort of wait with CPS is CPS are quite slow as well at the moment, as well as the courts.
I understand.
So I'll put it. I can get him in, get it to CPS but make sure I've got all of your evidence, not just part of it, and we'll see what CPS say. And
the reason I'm so passionate about this being a charge is because these keep popping up because of Lancashire Police's failings. I keep getting called. I mean, there's one man who's been summoned for calling me a paedophile in an email. He just called me, excuse the language. Well, no, I won't say it. So he called me a pedo, C-U-N-T, in an email. He's been charged with malicious communication. I had to do that through a private prosecution, and the summons is Lancashire Police stuck their nose in that. They wouldn't, and the Lancashire Police don't want anyone charged because the minute I will blog about these people being arrested, it makes Lancashire Police look worse than not arresting the source back in the day when he did it, because this is here for life now. And the only way I can get any sort of justice is if the people who do it know that by doing it, they get arrested, they get charged, and potentially get put in prison. But if somebody's going to be like not arrested and not charged, it makes the other person go, oh, well, I'll do it. And that's just killing me and the family. My kids are distraught. I mean, I've got an 18 and a 21-year-old, and people say, is your dad a paedophile? It's like, kids shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, no.
It's because what's online. And, I've never...
And is this what he's put online?
Well, this is what Taz has done recently. Yeah, he's done it now. But
he's added on to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, he's just carrying the way he's going, if you like. But until that stops, and these other websites are taken offline, which the Lancashire Police are claiming, but they won't. Then it'll carry on forever. And while it does, that just puts me and the family at risk of a vigilante attack. We had one vigilante attack. The guy got put in prison. He told me, a paedophile, so I'm coming down to kill you. And he got picked up, arrested. He was charged and put in prison within about a week. And Taz has done all this, and it's like 3 months, and Sorry, go on. I'm waffling on. I'm saying over again.
Okay.
So
all right then.
An email. I'll send you.
I'll send you an email now. And to make sure I've got all your contact details correct. So yeah. I'll send you an email now. I'll just send you a contact email because then you've got my email address, and then whatever you send me link-wise, I shall get our IT to unblock it and let me download what I need to download.
And I know you probably dealt with some serious stuff, but you're definitely okay with some pretty nasty pictures.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about that.
There's nothing like.
No. Don't worry about that.
It's just not nice pictures. It's really sticky.
Yeah. No, that's all right. We, if needs be, we'll do the necessary blurring of them to avoid any you know, you can't send that by email, sort of type.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the thing is, it's you know, it's probably not actually illegal pictures. I don't think.
Yeah. It probably isn't. If it's just sexual pictures of adults, it probably isn't.
It's like maggots inside things. It's like what?
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm used to seeing some weird stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
All right then.
Okay, I'll send that email to you now.
All right. And, thanks for that. I'm sorry to rant, but
no, it's all right. So I'm on duty for the next 3 late shifts, and then I'll try and spend a bit of time on it over the next 3 days.
Great stuff. I appreciate that. Thanks very much.
Okay. All right then.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Yep. Take care. Bye.